From the bad CGI that's showing in Toganaki to fairy tales just straight out plot holes and whatever's going on in Sakamoto Days, it's kind of hard to find a series that isn't easily criticized. And you know, I really can't blame anyone with all the stuff that we've been getting this year. Now, there are a good few bangers, and then there's the ones I don't really like. This character, not the series. Akame ga Kill is actually pretty good. But despite all the criticisms that are going on, there's one series that is my bread and butter. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Now, hold on. I know what most of you are thinking. I don't condone any of the stuff that goes on. Although, having 3 wives is actually pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually pretty cool. Although I could do without one of them being my cousin. And not only that, can someone please tell me how this 16-year-old has a house? I'm 24 going on 25 this year, and I could barely afford rent in my apartment. Anyway, back to the subject at hand. Mushoku Tensei now is just regarded as the, can't say that word, but it's that series' main character. For further context, Rudius in his previous life did some heinous, well, he was a degenerate basically. So on one particular night, which was actually the night that his parents' funeral was being held, his siblings got sick of him being a degenerate. They busted up into his room, saw what he was doing, and, well, they kicked him out of the house. And justifiably so. What he was looking at, it's not really told what he was looking at, but it was so disgusting to the point of where they had baseball bats in their hands after they kicked him out of the house. Once he's kicked out and wandering out for a little bit, he notices a woman is about to get hit by a truck. And, well, you know how most isekai work. The next thing he sees is a blonde-haired woman and her brunette-haired husband. Their names are Zenith and Paul Greyrat, and they're Rudius' new parents. Now, Rudius at first is a bit confused, but then he puts the 2 and 2 together because, well, turns out he's an anime fan. And lo and behold, he becomes accustomed to his new life very easily because, well, he was born straight into it. Slice of life hijinks ensue, and then eventually he gets sent off to go teach Eris how to use magic. Oh, and before I forget, his dad cheated on his mom with a maid. I'm not making that part up. That actually happened. Now, this video is not a deep dive into the series. Dear Lord, the video will be over 2 hours long, and I need a higher subscriber count to do that. But to get back on topic, I'm making this video so that I can defend the series. And a lot of people are just calling it, oh, it's a show that promotes incest, or it's a series that doesn't care about, you know, content quality. And 9 times out of 10, these people who say these things, they've only watched like the first few episodes, or they're just looking from the outside looking in. And also another fact is that these people think they're experts and they're really not. And my opinion on this is 2 things: Rudius and the content of the story itself. Rudius, that boy is something else. He's very talented. He makes figures of Roxy. He peeps in on his parents almost every night, as said by Aisha. And most of all, not going to be able to show this very easily, so you better get ready for a quick flash. And the thing about it is this: Rudius has been punished for being a creep before in the past. Now, this image is not the specific scene where he's been punished for a creep, but his first interaction with Eris where he is a creep, she justifiably whoops his ass. And if you want to see the scene itself, I think it's either episode 6 or 7, or it might be episode 5 of the first season. I'm not sure. You can just go and look for yourself, but that ass whooping was amazing. But aside from Rudius being a creep, and that's what everyone usually points out, these people who complain don't point out how much trauma and how much depth he has to his character. For example, this scene right here is from the light novel, aka season 2, and spoilers for season 2, but Paul unfortunately dies. Paul and Rudius's father-son relationship is a prime example of Rudius being a great character. Now, Paul, from Rudius's perspective, spent more time with him than he did with Zenith. And some of you might be thinking, what does that have to do with character development? It actually has a lot to do with character development. Rudius and Paul and the rest of their team, while they're in the labyrinth trying to figure out how to defeat the Hydra and get Zenith back, Rudius has second thoughts about the idea. He's literally having an inner monologue about his true thoughts on Paul and Zenith. Paul is my father, but I just see him as a good drinking buddy. Zenith is my mother, but I barely spend time with her. And as soon as he brings up the idea to Paul that, hey, maybe we should just leave mom behind. It looks like she's just a lost cause anyway inside that crystal. Paul immediately snaps and asks Rudius, what the hell is wrong with you? That is your mother inside that crystal. That is my wife inside that crystal. She helped me raise you. What is your problem? And from an outsider's perspective looking in, yeah, it does seem messed up that Rudius said that and thinks that, but at the same time, Rudius is saying this because he's having an identity crisis. He's literally living inside the body of somebody else while he's just piloting it. He doesn't even feel like a real person in that moment. This to me is great character development because Rudius literally admits that he is not Rudius Greyrat 100%. The only reason why he even got a second chance at life is because the Mad God gave him a second chance at life. If it wasn't for that, there would be no story. And yet, it works so well. And the way Rudius takes it is unintentionally cheat on his wife with Roxy. I'm not gonna lie, that conclusion was kind of weird, but I mean, how else was he gonna do it? But joking to the side, Rudius actually was in a very depressed state in this moment. I'm not justifying what he did. I mean, really, he wasn't really the aggressor in this moment. Well, you can't really say aggressor in this type of situation. He wasn't the one that initiated it. It was Roxy that had did it. And she wasn't doing it to take him away from Sylphie. She was just doing it to make him feel better. And I'm not going to go into the conversation that she had with Elise because I have not read the light novels, so I'm not going to lie to you guys about that part. At the end of the day, it was good intentions, but she obviously wasn't thinking it through. Now, I'm not going to lie. I thought Rudius was just going to straight up just pretend like things didn't happen. No, actually, he did not. He and Roxy told Sylphie everything. And despite the mixed feelings I do have about this scene and other people have about this scene, you know, who are part of the Mushoku Tensei fan base, I can't deny it. Rudius was one of the MVPs in this scene. Honestly, he was ready for the consequences for what was going to happen after telling her that. And yet, Sylphie was just happy. Not happy at the fact that her husband straight up cheated on her with another woman that's way older than her. No. She was just happy that he was truthful with her. Yes, she admits it does hurt that he did that to her, but she'd rather have him tell her than just straight up lie about it. Now, it is addressed again in a season 3 episode where she tells him, look, you can have multiple people if you want, but if you ever cheat on me with some rando, I'll make sure to divorce your ass. And now on to Rudius' trauma. Rudius was severely bullied back in his old life. I'm not going to show you the images because I don't want YouTube to take down my channel. But the thing of it is that Rudius' bullying was very extreme and mentally brutal on him. And it literally got to the point where he alienated himself from his own family inside the same house he lived in. And yet this is another great point of character development for Rudius. He finds out Norn is depressed and he does not hesitate to go and find her because he remembered back when he was a shut-in, just straight out depression. He remembers that his older brother tried to extend his hand to him, but every time he just smacked it away, disregarded him and everything, didn't even talk to him. But with Norn, things were going to be different. My little sister is not going to go through the same thing I went through. I want her to have a life. She's too young to be depressed. She needs to tell me what her problem is. The problem was she was put in a shadow that didn't need to be there. And Rudius accepted it and told her, you don't have to be great like me. You are your own person. You don't have to associate yourself with me. If you don't like me, that's okay. But don't ever think that anyone is better than you when it comes to you being yourself. It's a very powerful scene that teaches Norn that I don't need to be like my brother. I can be my own self. And it shows that Rudius does not want the cycle of depression to keep going on. And with Rudius' section coming to an end, It is now time to talk about the world building. From the ravenous yet civilized beast folk to, I don't know who you are, but your design is sick. And literal demon warlord, I don't know who you are either, but you'll show up in season 3. And also Kiririka, the demon queen, the little gremlin herself. Don't let her touch your eye. She will make it very painful. You'll get the power, but it's very painful to get that foresight. Don't I advise not to get it. And last but most definitely not least, the history, the architecture, and the different lands of Mushoku Tensei are nothing but pieces of art, and people need to lock in and see this world. What I'm trying to say here, ladies and gentlemen, is that Mushoku Tensei does have its issues. That's with any series that you read or watch, or however way you consume it. Every series has issues. But don't just criticize something because of what people say or what little things that you saw when you either first read it or first watched it. Actually take the time to buy the book or buy whatever type of physical media or get a streaming service that has the show or whatever way you consume it. Actually take the time out to really critique it. And I'm guilty of this myself, especially when I first got into Black Clover. I was very skeptical about it because people were saying negative things. But when I actually read it and watched it, I'm like, these people are lying. They just want to review bomb something. And it's just not people who are casual anime fans. It's really the Western fan base that does this crap. They want to review bomb something that they don't like. And to take a quote from Evan Dorkin, the creator of Ellingtonville Club, a true fan is somebody that consumes and properly critiques the series that they like, while a toxic fan is somebody that just wants to prove that they're right no matter what is wrong. And it's unfortunate that a huge percentage of the Western fan base is that toxic. Now, I do have friends in the Western fan base that think like me. Hey, we actually want to watch and read something instead of just review bomb it. But the Western fan base, it's just toxic. And to show how toxic it is, not even the creators of series can even voice their opinions on the thing that they wrote and drew. Hell, Kei Arana and her graffiti artist had to leave Twitter because of how toxic the Western fan base is about her series. Now, Rifujin, that man know how to fire back. I'll say that much. When people were criticizing Mushoku Tensei, calling it this, calling it that, you want to know what his response was? Okay, don't read it. If you don't like it, don't consume it. I'm not forcing you to read it. I'm not forcing you to watch it. Get out of my face. That is all you got to say, and these people will shut up. And to really cap off this video, I'm not going to lie. We're all going to watch what we're going to watch. Just as long as it's not something illegal or immorally wrong, just don't worry about what other people think. These people who say that they're know-it-alls are not know-it-alls. And at the end of the day, we all consume. That is the human nature. We just consume. And with that, I leave you off right here. Thank you for watching the video. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.